I got some extra stuff to show. Uh,
Okay.
the other part is this cam step. So cam steps is probably the biggest part of our entire department, the cam department. These are the steps we go through. We have a whole checklist. And so that cam step is based off of the job that's being worked on. And this job 279 is the job I currently have open. And this is what we're looking at here is our in-house track plan. Um, and I have that job open. And so right now, if say I'm the guy that's going to work on this job and I click on, say this part of the checklist, this checklist starts, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a step-by-step guide to guide us from importing customer data to getting it to production ready and on the floor. And so in setup, say, okay, I've just checked this to agree. Yes, this is a disclaimer. I'm just making sure I know what's going on. Um, it's just a step here to just remind everybody, hey, this is what you should be focused on. Um, I've just clicked that. If we go over here, we can see that disclaimer was just clicked. And so 1 minute ago, and it's to help us keep up to date. If I look over there and say one of our remote people is working, and I'm just kind of curious what step he's on, because okay, we have some more work to do. Is he at a point where I can ask him to switch over to that work? I can always just check there. I don't even have to ask him. So it helps us keep up to date. From there, this document is driven by a JSON file that we were able to modify for formatting. And you can see there's a ton of formatting here, color coding, just information on top of information on top of information. This guide is roughly 300 different steps that are filtered based on job type, build, everything. So our CAM department, we're pretty happy about this software here because we're able to follow step by step everything to keep consistency with new people, old people, new processes, whatever. And a great example, we've got this button over here. Looks a little bit different than this button. We can actually execute scripts on the software that we use, which is InCam. And so we have a in-house built Python API that if I click this inside of the InCam software, it will run that script. And I just clicked the one that made my PCB, and now I have a PCB. And so on top of these not just being steps to explain, hey, what you should be doing, they also are scripts that add on top of that. So we can automate systems. And we have notes fields. These are the great way for people to talk back and forth. If I want to give some details to Stefan, Luis, whoever on the team that might work on this next, I might say, ran this for testing purpose, just so they can know what I was doing here.
Mhm.
And so I might just put that as it's just a note only. They don't need to review it. But we have different ways of tagging it, and they can see who changed that status. So if I changed it to review completed, if I was somebody else, they could see that I changed it at this time. So we keep
Mhm.
track of almost everything. And if the person comes in later that approves this job and says, okay, thanks for that, just as a reminder, they can also do that. It's a little form, easy way for us to keep track of additional smaller conversations. And I can go over here to this notes uh, page and see all the cam step notes. You can see that we're really focused on tracking every single individual step because things go wrong, things are lost in translation. We want to keep sure that we have everything when we have to audit or validate whatever someone said. There's no telephone games here.